All right, everyone, welcome to this special session with one of my closest friends right now, and one of our colleagues and one of our participants of the program here at FeltSecure. We are now here with Alex. So Alex, it's a pleasure to have you here. How was life? How was everything?
It's great to be here, Emin, and hello, everybody. It's going great at the minute. Yeah, it's the last 18 months have certainly been an absolute joy. Certainly up and down roller coaster of emotions. It's just been absolutely fantastic
Perfect.
since graduating and completing the program, and now finally achieving the dream. It's wonderful. Life's great.
Perfect. And I really want to kind of hear more from you because, I mean, we had so many different, participants, students, so to speak, in the program. But I think your journey was totally different and inspirational by all means, because it all comes down to where were you before and now what is the current situation like? Your previous job, all the things that you did earlier, you decided to make a change and invest in yourself, and now you are living a totally different life. So actually, this is what I want to talk about today, if you don't mind, Alex.
Not at
So
all. Not at all.
why don't we get started? So why don't we get started with yourself, your background? Tell us more about yourself. Maybe a couple of details about you, Alex. Your background, history. I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm just. I consider myself largely just the normal, regular kind of guy. Just the normal lad that's just made a dream come true. You know, come from a family that's never really had anything much, but we've always strived to be the best that we can be in life. My previous trade, I was a welder fabricator, but IT has always been my passion. If anything, I say jokingly, it was a pastime that I've now made into a career. So essentially, I'm getting paid to pass time, as coincidentally funny as that is. It all started, I was very young, only a small boy, and my father brought home the very first Commodore 64 PC and being curious about this, what is this? And he was one of the fundamental parts of my life that sort of broke ground into my love for technology, an understanding of technology. He showed me what it was, how to program it. By the time I was a young boy, maybe 7, 8 years old, I could program in basic DOS or batch command, just a small Commodore 64 computer. And some bragging rights that I have, I was only 8 years old to show 3 teachers and a technician how to successfully program a computer to shut down automatically, which was quite an astounding feat. An 8-year-old boy could comprehend and could program this machine to do what it's supposed to do. And not many people could do that. So there was a lot of, I won't say alienation, but there was a lot of people that were quite fascinated at just, wow, he could do that. That is amazing. That is great. And I pursued it rigorously into my teens, where I went to college, dropped out of high school, secondary school, went to college, got my diplomas, my A-levels in IT. And then, of course, like all things, life happens. A couple of my relatives were ill. My grandmother was ill. A lot of things happened, and I lost out on time in getting into the industry and getting vital experience that was needed. So being in my hometown, Driffield, I moved to Hull, where I am now. Lived here for almost 10 years. And trying hard to get into the industry, but nobody would entertain me. I had all the qualifications of theory, no experience. So how could I get the job if I had no experience?
I think that's really important. Sorry to bother you there. I think that's one of the, chicken and egg problems, dilemma, so to speak. All the job adverts out there, everyone in the industry is like, hey, you need experience, 1 to 2 years of experience. But what if someone is really passionate, really dedicated, he has the skills, invested in yourself, but obviously to get experience, you need that job first. But all the jobs out there are looking for experience. And to me, it is a major problem for many people, isn't it?
It's difficult, yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree because I know people still to this day that they're wanting to make the transition into the IT industry, but they're scared and semi-conscious of you need experience, you need this, you need that knowledge. For me, I disagreed, and the way I tackled it was, in a way, yes, I transitioned into being into engineering and welding,
Hmm.
but I suppose in a way that was kind of seen as just a way to make money to invest later in life, which led us up to this point now. Realizing that this was the job itself was not allowing me to progress. People weren't matching my ambitions. My health was being affected. My mentality, my own anxieties, my own demons were cropping up. I had to sit back and realize something is wrong. This isn't right because I was miserable. I was always tired. I was overweight. I couldn't function as a human. And realizing that I'd forgotten what my one true passion in life was, I did a ton of research. I must have spent a week, 2 weeks researching endlessly what I could do to get into the industry. And
Hmm.
this is where Felt Secure came in. Of all things, scrolling through Facebook, saw an advert, Felt Secure, read the literature, and thought, hmm, be a part of a community. Sounds great. Learn how to do what I want to do. Sounds great. Be a part of a team, be a part of a group. Because a lot of the adverts you see these days, do this course, do that course, do this. But you're not a community. You're not a part of a team. You're going away and you're doing that all by yourself. I made that mistake when I did my Microsoft qualifications.
Hmm.
I had nobody to turn to. Oh, if I was to do this, would this happen? You know, I had nobody to give me advice or hold my hand a little bit if I struggled.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it took a long while to get those qualifications, but I got there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Towards the end of that, I needed to make a bigger breakthrough, and that's when I looked at doing the CEH
Hmm.
and started to think, this is it. That's that's a big title, and I like that.
Okay.
Going away, I found an old book of mine from college that I always wanted to be in cybersecurity,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's how that happened. And then that's when we
So
had that phone call.
great stuff, and I'm glad that our paths crossed, and then we've been together. And so it looks like it is not just IT. It looks like it is even one or maybe a couple of more steps ahead of it. Cybersecurity, information security. Um, so what do you think about that? Like, you always wanted to become an IT professional, but what do you think about your interest, your passion in the cybersecurity sector?
It started when I first learned programming at college
Hmm.
and learning about the fundamentals of network infrastructure, and then learning that if you get into cybersecurity, you can learn to protect it as well as build it as well as maintain it, and then realizing that this is actually something that I quite like because engineering is something I love. I love to know how things work. So learning about how the internet works spurred me on. Learning how to build a network spurred me on even further. And then when I first hacked my own family's computers, just running simple code, the thrill and I suppose the buzz was just uncomprehendable. It was just
So,
amazing that I have just done this. I have pulled this off. Okay, I know I broke the law, but the feat alone was just incredible, and it just gave me such a rush, thinking,
okay.
"Gee, if I can do this as a teenager, what could I do later on in life, say in the next 10 years or the next
Hmm.
20 years?"
Hmm.
But as we all know, life happened, and couldn't do that. So when Felt Secure, like yourself, came to be, I thought, this is going to be it. I've got to do this.
Hmm.
And when we spoke, something inside me just told me, do it, just go for it. This guy knows his stuff. He's a part of a bigger team. He's a part of a bigger community. He's got an outstanding record. Just put pen to paper, get it done, and just enjoy it and soak up the moment. And that's exactly what I did.
Thanks a lot, man. It's a pleasure to hear that. But so okay. Previously, the situation was like, I mean, you've been always interested in like IT as a career option, and you even kind of studied towards it to some degree. But it's life happens, different priorities, timing or different resources, maybe limitations. But you solved it. And then why don't we talk about what are you doing right now? And I think that's really, really important as well. Like 18 months ago, maybe even 12 months ago, totally different. But now, what is the situation like? What are you doing right now? What is your day-to-day job?
Well, shortly after graduating from the fantastic program at For Cybersecurity, the CEH, 3 months after, I was contacted by a very good friend of mine who, ironically, started my engineering and welding career off, now started my IT career off. And he told me of a
Okay.
great opportunity at the place that I'm working at now, XPS Solutions Limited
Mhm.
in Hull, which is not far from me, about 20 minutes walk. And the position was a first line technical support engineer.
Mhm.
Never done it, wanting to do it because this is my first step into the industry. This
Mhm.
is my chance now to prove to people that I've put myself through all of this. This is now my time to shine. This is my turn now. And I'm going to show this company of professional people that somebody from a completely different background, a completely different walk of life, a total fresh air that has got the guts, the determination and grit to say, hey, I'm here to prove a point and I can do it. And that's exactly what I did at interview. I didn't go in bragging that I've got this qualification, I have this. I went in with the mindset of I'm here to do a job and I want to learn. I'm hungry, I'm passionate, I'm determined to improve who I am. Answering telephone calls on a day-to-day basis, fixing companies, technology, computers, advising on upgrades,
Mhm.
even learning much, much more of what I've already known now, but gaining that experience. I'm still hungry about it today. I'm still crazy about it. I'm still addicted to it. It's that it just makes me so happy that I've finally done it and I'm only going to get better at it.
Alex, let me tell you this. That passion, that interest makes a lot of difference. It makes a lot of difference. And I can tell it from your eyes. And this, as you know, I mean, we discussed this a lot in the program, but many times, one of the problems that we see in the industry is, hey, I have the skill, let me get a job. But there's no soul, there's no passion in it. And everybody can see it, everybody, right? But when you approach to an employer like this, even if you have never done it before, on the CV, on the paper, maybe you have all the negatives, all the kind of no's, I would never work for you, but they chose you. And I think that passion, that interest, that kind of creating that communication played an important part in my opinion with you as well.
Saying in most of your wonderful webinars that you do about there's certain protocols and structures about interview. No, of course I was nervous. I was panicking a little bit, thinking, "Crikey, this is it. This is my first chance now, and I've really got to nail this because this is it. This is big time." Instead, I thought, I'm not going to go as a professional. I'm just going to go in just like the average level-headed guy that I am and let them know me for me and then let them know my profession is my passion. And that's exactly what I did. I went into the interview seeing my manager Laura as a best friend, sharing a coffee, seeing my managing director as an even greater friend, sharing a coffee, coming down to that one key aspect of the human level. We're professionals, of course, yeah, totally,
Mhm.
but we're all human. And
Mhm.
this is one of the key lessons that I learned very quickly, I will add. But it's for those that are struggling, my simple message is just don't give up. I never did. It
Mhm.
took me, this is a 10-year dream come true. I
Mhm.
might be a
And I
little
can
late
see
to the
your
party.
your diplomas and kind of awards on the background. I can see on the wall,
I proudly display those behind me. So when my friends and family see this is my wall of achievement, this is there to remind them that I've done it. I've made the change. It was hard, you know, working 8 while 5, coming home, staying up while midnight, early hours, working your backside off to write thousands of lines of notes, to committing everything you can to memory for that exam. And of course, being nervous taking it, but passing it first time, I cried.
Amazing. I know.
I cried.
Amazing accomplishment. And I mean, another point is, I think it's about resourcefulness as well. It's about commitment, because it's never easy. Let's just face it. Especially if that's a career change, especially if that's a different career path. Like you want to get started in cybersecurity, you want to get started in information security, even IT at the beginning. Obviously, you need that resources, but only if you are resourceful, then you can get it. Like getting up early in the morning, staying up late, you know, during the weekends, all your friends or roommates outside, they're having fun, but you know, stay at home, study, prepare, and training, hands-on skills. There are a lot of things to do, but it looks like with your commitment, with your dedication, you've done it all.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. You do have to make sacrifices. You do have to weigh up a situation and think, you know, if I go out with a friend today and go to a party or whatever, or play a few games, you're losing out on that time. But the one thing I remembered on one of your key webinars was, you've got to allow for you. You know, if you come to the books today, does your head feel right to do it? If not, don't do it. Don't risk it, because that could cause more damage. If you just think, okay, if I do an hour today, that's enough, and then walk away, detox, just books away, put them out of your sight, and just do something else. You know, work out, go for a walk, have a drink, watch a film, do something else. And that's what I did rigorously, religiously, day after day, and still what I'm doing now, barring mixing work and other things. But you know, I'm still doing it to try and get my A plus.
So about that, by the way, that's really important. So what are the next steps? Where do you see yourself as, I know that's a kind of classic question, but where do you see yourself in, let's say, 3 years, 5 years, financially, maybe in your career? What are the next steps for you?
I'm very hoping to finish my A plus very soon, hopefully this year, 2020. I'm contemplating looking up more into still penetration testing and ethical hacking. So I'm considering doing OSCP. So it proves that this certification plus OSCP makes me more competent at what I'm doing, including securing networks, ethically hacking networks, and I suppose in a way consulting people, advising people about what to do, what not to do. So it adds more to my experience and core to what I am as an IT professional. I suppose the next 3 years, I'm hoping to be in a better position at XPS, get the promotion and climb even higher in the ranks. So there's a bit of rivalry with my inner self and other people on the third thinking, I can do your job and I would love to do your job and I would love to join your ranks, sort of thing. So that's my little incentive to keep pushing as higher and harder. And then in 5 years, I'm hoping to still be with XPS. If not, no hard feelings. I'll probably find another home to make a greater mark in history.
Okay. And one of the final questions, Alex, I mean, lots of distinctions. So thanks a lot for sharing all your thoughts, honestly.
You're welcome.
And what do you think about your future? Like, do you feel more kind of secure about your future? Like, do you feel like confident financially, like physically? What are the changes happening and will happen in your life, do you think?
Financially, to admit on tape, I did have to take a small cut from my previous job to obviously get into this. But with all things, you do have to make a small sacrifice. You have to take a step back to get 2 steps forward. You know, that's part and parcel of life and every day. Confidence-wise, I'm happier, I'm healthy. As you can probably imagine, in the early days, I've lost an awful lot of weight. I'm now looking after myself better. My career choices are looking absolutely through the roof. You know, I've got options and doors open to me day after day. And the one thing that makes it worthwhile, reading the Google reviews,
Mhm.
and I'll be honest, and I never knew this, XPS have their own Google account where people can leave reviews.
Mhm.
Seeing the first 5-star review for awarding me for my professionalism, it melted me inside. I was just like, there it is. That's
Perfect.
somebody actually recognizing my skill.
Exactly.
And I think right now, I think I've got 4 under my name
Hmm.
of people recognizing my skill, including I think one's a director and one's an owner of a
Hmm.
business.
And
And
I
it
think,
just,
and I think the beautiful thing about this is it's not about you actually. It is about the value that you deliver. It's about the kind of, you know, end results that you help people, that you help businesses. And when you are committed to your journey, to your career, to your profession, then obviously it's way easier for people to recognize. And at that moment, it feels like, oh my God, this is awesome.
it is. Yeah, you're certainly right. To touch somebody's life, even if you're solving a jammed printer to a file that can't be opened, and just, oh, you're fantastic. Thank you very much for your help. It just, I was told this is the thankless job. I disagree. I'm just ecstatic every day.
Hmm.
I'm always excited to get up and go to work. Okay, yeah, I'm now still at home, but just I'm always eager to still be sat at my computer to actually help somebody and be an influence in their life, and then hopefully in the next 5 years to actually take a big role into cybersecurity and maybe even help XPS develop it.
Why not? Sky's the
So
limit
exactly,
because they're waiting for you. They need you. Companies need more IT professionals, more cybersecurity professionals when we think about it. As long as we are there, we are here to support them. Okay. And as long as someone is willing to, take on that challenge to learn more, provide value, help them out, the opportunities are like endless, especially after this pandemic, especially after this, new world, new standards, new normal.
exactly. And being completely honest, if somebody said 10 years ago, hey, you'd finally achieve it, this is completely no script, nothing. It's just come straight from the heart. I'd honestly say you're kidding. I can't do it. But finally doing it, making it happen, I'm just absolutely euphoric. And still to this day, when I look at the wall behind me, thinking there's going to be more certificates there very, very soon.
I love
And
that.
I just
Of
can't
course.
wait. I just can't wait.
Many more, mate. Many more to come.
Many, many more.
Okay. So many thanks, Alex. Alex, lots of inspirations, lots of distinctions, and it looks like, hell of a journey. But now you're just getting started. So if, like maybe a final sentence or final kind of, opinion, if someone was in your shoes, like for example, they are working in a dead-end job, they are not feeling secure about their future, they are not making enough money, looking for different opportunities, etc., and they're kind of thinking about IT, thinking about cybersecurity careers, what would you kind of say to them? Like, what are the kind of opinions, advice would you give them?
If I was sat in front of somebody like myself, I would say, I am just like you. I was exactly like you, working a dead end job. Nobody met my ambitions or even my greater hopes. I weighed up pros and cons despite my health conditions, and I decided to make that change because, as we all know, it's all about risk. And yes, I did risk it. And look at what I've got now. I took that step forward. Of course, there's going to be the anxiety, the fear of what if I fail? What if I don't succeed? Even if you get knocked back, just get back up because you can do it. I can do it just being a welder fabricator, losing out on hope and passion on my life and making a 10-year dream finally come true in the last 18 months, then surely you can do it. Just don't quit. If you struggle, ask for help. If you find it hard, don't give up, don't despair. There's resources and people out there. Just talk, just
Exactly.
ask, because that's what
Exactly.
we're here for. This is what I'm here
Exactly.
for. So that is my message to you all. Never, ever give up. You want your dream, you want that certificate, you want those letters. Go out there, get them, and then show the world that I'm here for that reason. And that's
Oh,
exactly what I did.
Love that. Love that, Alex. Alex, thanks a lot for your time. I mean, it was a pleasure as always. And I know that, just like, we have met earlier face to face and we have these meetings, we can talk for hours and hours about everything. But obviously our
Got the
time
water
is
right.
but obviously our time is limited. But just like you said, if anyone is currently listening to this video, listening to this audio, if you feel like you can also do this, if you feel like you can be the next Alex, changing careers, changing the trajectory of life, actually, because your career is your life. You're waking up to that every single day. Um, and if you're looking for someone to talk about your future, about your career, about your options, here's what you can do. You can just visit feltsecure.com/go, just book a time, talk to either myself or someone in our team, and then that's it. We'll get on the conversation, totally free, talk about it, take a look at your options. If that makes sense, we can move forward. If not, that's also cool, because at the end of the day, it is your life, it is your career, isn't it? So that's why taking that kind of first step is key to success. This is what I
Exactly.
can say.
Taking just it's taking that first junior step forward. Imagine being on the moon and imagine how he felt. It's more or less the same feeling. It's one step greater to your better life. And of course, I'll say this on tape. If you ever need to talk to me and you want to network with me, I'm sure Emin would leave my LinkedIn details behind. So please contact me.
Of course. Great stuff. Look, Alex, thanks a lot for your time today. And I
No
mean,
problem.
we can do this more in the future. Maybe we can talk more about the kind of technical details about your journey. Maybe in 3 years from now, 5 years from now, how to become a cybersecurity manager, how to do this, more advanced stuff. I'm sure we'll get to that point at some point, but step by step. So yeah, many thanks. Many thanks for attending. Many thanks for spending this time with us, Alex. And I'm sure that we'll be in touch.
Certainly, yeah, not a problem at all. And this is the first step amongst many that I'm going to make. So hopefully there'll be many more videos like this. Fingers crossed.
Okay, Alex. Many thanks. Many thanks for attending once again. And for all viewers, again, if you need any help, if you are thinking about a cybersecurity career, this is your opportunity. Just visit our website and then book a call with us for free. And then let's see what we can do together. And once again, it was a pleasure to talk to Alex, and I had this opportunity to, discuss his journey. And we will speak with you again very soon in the next show.
I'll see you very soon, and hope you all stay well, stay safe, and just never give up. Carry on learning.
All right, Alex. Many thanks. Speak to you soon, mate. Goodbye.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.